All right, everyone, welcome to Rhythm and Roads podcast. I'm going to be your host, Joshua Jacob. We have a very special guest. We have Jezzika Sax, our saxophonist, musician, and singer. And she has a new music video coming out July 11th. So, welcome, Jess.
Hello. Good to be here.
It's awesome to always get to have musicians on and share their story and just what they're up to. So, thank you for coming on. So,
Yes, thank
yeah, yeah. And I've seen you perform at the Dome in the Paseo del Norte. Is that what it
Yes.
is? Yeah. And you're always like on point with all the hits from the Fleetwood Mac, Selena, and it's just like, man, like I can see the crowd, just the reaction, and you always do a great job in what you do. So I can see why you're always getting booked around town.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, music is just it's a part of life.
Yep, I agree.
And I think a lot of the songs I grew up with, a lot of people, especially in this region, grew
Mhm.
up with similar.
Yeah,
So I just kind of play around with that, the culture here,
culture.
and like I just pay attention to the vibe in the room, pretty much.
That's cool. So what is your story? So how did you get to become Jessica Sax? And who inspired you to want to learn the saxophone? I mean, that's really cool. I,
Thank you. Well, actually, the story about how I became a saxophone player is kind of funny. There was I was going to be in sixth grade, and my father, I come from a pretty strict upbringing in
oh,
a
okay.
Hispanic culture. So my father was like, no cheerleading, no dance. If you're going to be involved in anything, it's going to be sports or music.
Oh wow. That,
And so I thought I wasn't very athletically inclined at the time.
oh,
So I
okay.
was like, well, I guess I'll choose band. And a guy that I had a crush on at the time
Oh,
played the
okay.
saxophone. So I
Oh
thought,
wow.
well, maybe if I play it, he'll have an interest in me.
Right.
So I chose the saxophone. And long story short, he ended up quitting.
Oh man.
Um, and my dad told me when I chose it, you're not allowed to quit. I don't care how boring it gets, you're gonna push through. And so I tried to quit several times and I couldn't. But thankfully I fell in love with
Oh
playing and music and the rest is history.
wow. So thanks to your dad to tell you don't quit, keep doing it.
Yeah,
I don't want to
yeah.
do this. I want to do something else. Nope. And look, there was
Hmm.
something in him knowing that you were going to do this as a career. And I mean, just wow, look where you're at doing it. Pretty cool. That's an interesting story. So something that you didn't really, well, you only did it really to, I guess because you wanted to get closer to that crush you mentioned, right?
At first,
At first,
temporarily.
then yeah,
Yeah.
temporarily, and then after knowing that he left, you're like, well, then I'm gonna leave, and your dad's like, nope. I'm like, well, Dad, look, you went to go do this. I want to go do that. Yeah, interesting.
Exactly.
And then so
Yeah.
as you got it started playing the sax, like, and then where didn't you discover yourself of wanting to do this as a career? I guess, becoming Jessica Sax. Like, what point did you say, I
Well,
want to do this?
I do come from a musical family. So my mom is a singer. She also
Oh,
plays
nice.
guitar and she always sang like since I was a baby. She was constantly singing to wake us up in the morning.
Oh no, okay,
Um,
that's cool.
always playing the guitar. And so that's all I've ever been around.
Wow.
And then when I started playing an instrument, my dad and mom both played in the church choir.
Okay.
And our church at the time was having like a community event where they were inviting people to put a band together and perform. So my dad did that and we all were a part of it. And I really enjoyed it. And from that point on, my dad said, you know what, let's make a band. And we created a band called Fuego El Paso. And we were a band for like 6 years, all
Really?
through my high school years. And although it was challenging for me as a teenager, um, in the sense that I had to miss out on a lot of like homecoming, prom, we had gigs, we were playing all over the place. And so I had to sacrifice that. But when I would get on the stage, there was just something about it that made me feel
Alive.
like this was me. This
Yeah.
is where I needed to be. So yeah, it's been a part of me ever since.
Wow, that kind of reminds me a little bit of the Selena story, the movie, how the
It's
dad was really
very
strict and
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I saw the movie, I was like, that is so weird. Like, it's weird. And I wonder if there's other people that have the same experience culturally, in the Hispanic culture. I don't know. Because a lot of people that come from this culture are musicians or singers or performers.
Yeah, that is true. And what is your mom doing now? Is she still singing? Is still
She's
actively?
not singing at this time in her life. I mean, she sings all the time anyway, but as far as professionally or anything, no.
No.
But I'm pretty sure she'll revisit it again.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's an interesting story. So from there, and then like, I guess, when did you discover, you know what, I want to do this as a career as Jessica Sax and start that journey? You know what I mean? Like, what point in your life did you decide to do that? Because you probably had a job
Well,
right, prior, like a job or.
yes, I've always, worked other jobs. I I've always felt that I wanted to pursue something. Like in my younger years, that's when Selena was at the top. Ace of Base was like my favorite
Oh, okay.
music group at that time. Debbie Gibson, like I wanted to be there. I wanted to do that. However, there were certain challenges in life at the time that didn't allow that road to happen.
Okay.
And then I became a mom in my early 20s.
Okay.
So I didn't want to put my kids through that kind of journey. So I stayed local ever like all through their growing years,
Hmm.
and I just made it something as a hobby mostly for most of my life. But I've always deep down inside wanted to pursue more. And now my kids are older, and I'm thinking, I'm not getting any younger, and I'm just gonna keep pushing and
Yeah.
go for
And here you are.
it. Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is I guess certain time in your life when it's not ready, in the future, there's a chapter that's waiting for you for when it's supposed to be like, I guess the door's open, you know what I mean? So it may
Right.
be hard to understand why at that point you weren't ready, or things weren't working out and you're just like, why? Like, I feel that desire that I want to start it, but it's just not happening. You see the roadblocks, you see red flags. But then once the time comes in your life when it's supposed to happen, then the doors open, people come into your life to help. You see, the green
Yeah.
light to go ahead and pursue it. And you're like, you know what? This is when I was supposed to do it, is this time. And I've been
Right.
through that. Yeah, where it was hard to understand years prior why things weren't working out, or roadblocks, or certain things that came up. You're just like, it's just preventing me from pursuing it. But because in the future, it's that there's a time for that, and now you are in your time. So.
Yes, that's so true. So true. I think things just need to line up perfectly, and at those times they just weren't. They weren't.
Yeah, they
But
weren't.
now it feels right now.
And then I gotta ask you this: does it feel like you've been doing it forever when it seemed like you've lost time because of the time frame of you not doing it? You kind of felt like, well, if I don't do it now, when am I ever going to do it? I'm wasting time. But then once you have actually are in it now, you feel like, man, it feels like I've been doing this forever. Like, because you're in it, you're already in your passion where you're supposed to be. So time's kind of caught up with you to do it. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, there's been moments where I felt like that, but I choose not to dwell on the what ifs, and just kind of taking it each moment at a time. The music industry is so spontaneous.
Mm,
I mean, you can one day be playing in local scenes, and then the next moment something else can open just randomly.
yeah.
And that's what I've seen from other performers as well. So it's just living in the moment, taking it a moment at a time, and just making the most out of it and seeing where it takes you.
Well, apparently it's taking you far places. I mean, you already have your apparel line, you already have the music video coming out, you have your single, The Secret. I think that came out in 2020, right? So
Yes,
you're gonna redoing this music video from what I read.
that's correct.
That's awesome.
Yes.
What inspired you to want to bring the music video out now after a few years?
Well, it at the time it was during the pandemic, and there wasn't really much. Well, I wasn't very knowledgeable of how to push that at that time,
Okay.
and I really want people to enjoy the meaning of the song. I wrote it at a time where, the world shut down, people were struggling to be happy.
Uh,
And it really made me dig deep inside and see, well, how did I find my true happiness? And it was just understanding that it starts with you, like how you take care of yourself every day, showing up in the sense of exercising, eating good, and doing things that make you happy.
Yeah.
And if we all focus on that, on ourselves first, then we can generate that kind of energy into the world and make a big difference that way. So
Oh,
that's the meaning of the song. That's where it came from. And the music video was just portraying that, people just having fun through music. And there's a little fitness scene in there. It's kind of funny.
okay.
There's a little bit of a fitness scene in there, just to kind of share that part. But we just edited a few things in there, and I thought it was a perfect opportunity to hype it up again and re-release it.
Wow, okay. So it was original video back when, or you've already had this video, you guys just touched it up, or this is a brand new
Yeah.
original?
Yes, it was a video back then, and it
Oh,
had a few views on YouTube, but not as much as I wanted more of an impact,
oh, okay.
more of an impact. So I'm taking advantage of this opportunity July 11th
Yeah.
because I'm performing at Cool Canyon Nights in El Paso
Oh, nice.
and doing a Selena tribute show. But we're going to go ahead and perform the song for the audience that night, and then the music
Wow.
video is going to release at
Really?
that time.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
You said it was at Cool Canyon?
Cool Canyon Nights.
Where's that?
That is in McKelligan Canyon here in
Oh,
El
that's it.
Paso.
Okay. All right.
Yes, they're known for Viva El Paso.
That's where
But
it's at.
yeah, in the summertime, they've done these events called Cool Canyon Nights. So every Thursday, they showcase a live band.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Um, and so we're up next.
Oh, nice. That should be fun. So on the July 11th, you'll be performing there, right? But then
Yes,
also releasing your new music video. So wow, what an exciting day that's going to be.
it is. I'm really excited for it.
Awesome. And I want to go back to what you mentioned about taking care of yourself because I feel like I know that when I met you, that you mentioned that you do take care of yourself. You're also in the fitness aspect of your life as well as a career, but also something you
Yeah.
love passionately. So, what do you have to the viewers to say, like, if they're trying to find that route to want to start either going to the gym or eating healthy? I know at times it's hard, even for tomorrow, because it's before the July. Like, but I
Of
mean, like,
course.
but how important it is with the mind, the body, the soul, just because, yeah, it takes a place, and once you have all that together, you don't feel like your life's just everywhere. It's all a mess. Once you take care of you, then everything starts to line up. So, what do you have to say for taking care of yourself? How important it is?
I think self-care goes beyond just going to get your hair done and getting a massage, right? It's how you feel inside yourself. And the way you feel good about yourself is by doing things that improve your health.
Mm-hmm.
So exercise should be a non-negotiable as many times as you can during the week. You don't have to go hardcore and do like 2 a days or 2 hour workouts, but just find something that works with your life schedule.
Okay.
And also how we eat. Like eating is food is fuel. And so if we fuel ourselves with things that are not that great, we're going to feel exactly like
Mm.
the food we eat. So
That's true.
McDonald's versus, a nice, nutritious, hearty meal with a
Chicken
balanced,
salad. Yeah.
balanced plate of macronutrients.
Oh,
Yeah. But I think for anybody just to not feel overwhelmed with it, take it one day at a time. Little wins become the bigger wins over a long period of time.
that's true. Very true, yeah. And it's sometimes you have to also, discipline yourself. It's kind of hard when you get out of
Yes,
work and you're just like, oh, look, there's McDonald's and it's 10 at night and I'm tired. But,
yes,
as long as you discipline yourself and like you said, little by little, you start to see the results. And after you know it, you're already in the flow of like, man, I love this. I feel better. I feel good. And one thing I do like to do is drink a lot of alkaline water. And I have
yes,
seen a difference in my body in that, like the way I feel. It hydrates you good. It just makes you feel good. So
right. I know even as detailed as the type of water we choose
that's
can make
yeah.
a difference. It's crazy how any little thing can affect the brain and the body.
That's true. Now, like for me, I love wine and I like beer, right? I mean, but yes, I'm taking a class to get my alcohol license because I work at Costco. And so
Okay.
they have me doing that. So I'm reading everything about the health on what alcohol does to you. And I'm like, man, like, I getting all like, I don't know if I want to drink another bottle, I mean, I was shocked just they're saying like even a very light beer can still do harm, like to the brain, to the kidney, to the. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I never thought just a little simple wine of glass will still do, bad to the body. So. I mean, what's
Yes.
your thoughts? I mean, the thing is, like, yes, the thing is sometimes you can stop altogether, but if you do it in maybe very light moderation, I don't know. What do you think on that?
I mean, alcohol in general, there's never going to be anything healthy about it. No matter how much we want to believe it, it's never going to happen. Alcohol is always going to be some kind of toxicity for our body. But again, it goes back to the choices that we make. You don't have to completely cut it out. It is part of our culture
Right.
as human beings.
Yeah.
Socializing, celebrations, it's like food, you
Start
know.
tomorrow.
So, right, tomorrow, 4th of July. So basically, I think it's just a matter of taking control, just accepting that you are in control and not blaming, oh, I can't handle my alcohol. Yes, you can.
Yeah,
It's a choice that you make.
that's true.
And, if you choose to um, drink more servings of it than you probably know you should, then you just have to understand that there are consequences, which I'm sure everybody does.
Oh yeah.
And, but I think prioritizing your health,
Mhm.
like 80% of the time,
Yeah.
is going to be key. It's going to give you longevity in your health versus just being out of control and just letting your weaknesses take over.
Yeah. And the thing is, we're not getting any younger, so you gotta take care of the body, man. Because once you get older, you're like,
Yeah,
God, like sores. You feel different a little bit when you get older, and so yeah, you
you
do have.
do.
So okay.
Yes,
Thanks for sharing all the insight of taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally, physically. So it's good to know that.
of course.
Yeah.
It's what
Now,
I do.
yeah.
Fitness is another great passion of mine. I'm a health coach for a company called Body. We were
Okay.
previously known as Beach Body, so that's another thing that I do
Oh,
as a
nice.
service, help people online,
Nice.
and then music at the same time. Both of them contribute to our health.
There you go. Yes, music and fitness. I agree.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to your story of being Jessica Sax. So the apparel line, I've actually took a look at it, what you have. It's really impressive of what you've already gotten. So how did you come about to want to do that? Like, did someone talk to you about it? You're like, yeah, I should do that. Or how did you start
Yes,
that?
you know what? Actually, for the longest time, a lot of people were asking me, "Do you have CDs? Do you have shirts? Do you
Oh,
have posters?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I don't
oh,
have any of
posters
that."
too? That's
Yeah,
cool.
I've been asked for posters, and I never had any of that. And then I came upon this website that I was able to create this online store,
Okay.
and it's perfect because I don't have to mail anything out. You just go to the website, and everything ships directly to you. So we don't have to mess with all of that.
Yeah, it does it
And
on.
perfect. It works perfectly.
Nice. And how long have you had the store launched?
It's been a few months, and I've had some purchases come through, which is exciting.
That's cool.
I've purchased stuff as well,
Wow, for
just
yourself?
to
Oh
see,
man.
just to see how it looks,
Oh yeah.
and it's actually pretty good quality.
Is it? That's cool.
Yes,
And where can the fans go purchases? Like, what's the website?
they can go to my website, jezzikasax.com.
Okay.
And I guess you can put that in there. But you go onto the website and just scroll, and you'll find all the merch will pop up on there. And that is also, you can see my weekly schedule for
Okay.
the whole month on there as well.
Sweet. That's cool. And tomorrow's a big day, 4th of July. So
Yeah.
you have this great opportunity to be, I guess, performing right at the Lavinia Winery. That's exciting.
That's correct.
Awesome.
Yes. Super excited for that.
I bet you have a really cool list of a set list.
I I don't have a set list, I'll be honest.
Oh, you don't? Okay, so just gonna wing it. That's cool.
I just kind of gauge the energy there and I
A little
just
bit. Yeah.
test it out. And usually, I don't know if like somebody throws out a request, I'll just kind of feed off of that. And I like to be spontaneous like that.
Nice. And how long are you gonna be playing tomorrow? An hour or two
It'll
or
be 3 hours. It'll
oh,
be
3
12
hours.
to 3,
Oh,
12 to 3. And then after me will be Oscar Ayala and his band are going to play in the evening.
okay, cool. Well, if you
Yeah,
guys don't have any plans tomorrow, go check out Jezzika Sax at La Viña Winery in Anthony, New Mexico from 12 to 3, right?
that's correct.
Awesome. And I did see their advertisement. They said it was like I think $10 and you get a complimentary wine glass with or glass of
Yeah.
wine. That's
Yep.
cool.
$10 entry fee. Not bad at all.
Oh yeah, no, that's really cool. I love La Viña, especially the Caliente wine that they have there.
Yeah, we have a good selection there for sure. And
Have
then
you tried that
the
wine?
venue is just beautiful. I'm
Oh, it is.
sorry?
Have you tried that wine, Caliente?
I don't know if I tried that one. I am so bad at remembering names of alcohol. All I remember is tequila, and that's it.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, they have that there.
But
It
as
was
far as the wines go, I
fancier.
don't remember. My go-to if I do drink wine are the reds. I like the
Right.
Cabernet type of
Okay.
flavors.
Well, this wine that I mentioned, they do have it there, but it is a red. It's kind of like a red blend, but it's really good. It has a bit of
Oh,
spice to it. It's a bit of a chili in it. So
oh, nice.
I think you
I'll
like
have
it.
to
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, try it. So before we end
Yeah,
the podcast here, I just want to ask, do you plan on doing an album in the future?
I do. Actually, I have a few projects that I'm working on. I have an original song that I'm trying to get arranged with some musicians.
Okay.
It's called Red Flags.
Red flag.
Uh, Red Flags. It's gonna be good. I'm excited for that one. I'm also doing a remake of Smooth Operator.
Oh, no
So that's
way.
in the
Back in the day,
works.
huh?
That's in the works. And then I also have another project that I'm working on with a producer from Corpus Christi.
Oh, nice.
Uh, about a year ago, I did a fundraising event for that opportunity. And so, for anyone who contributed to that, thank you. It's still in the works. He's super busy in Corpus, and then I've been busy here. So, we're trying to coordinate and get that on the road. So, we're working on that track. So, several tracks. And then I'm also working on a project with a DJ, a local DJ,
Oh, okay.
and putting in a sax part with his he's a dubstep DJ.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
that's been something I wanted to do, collaborating with various DJs in the EDM world.
Wow. Well,
So I'm
that's
exploring that
yeah.
too.
Wow, you have a lot of
Yeah,
projects going on. That's awesome.
yeah. They're in the works. They take time, but we're trying to get them out as quickly as possible. But you gotta have perfection
Right.
in there. So want to give you all some good quality work.
No, it's good. And I'm glad that you're like that because like for other musicians that I like to listen to, like David Bowie, Talking Heads, David Byrne, on which you're probably familiar with. One of the things that
Yes,
they are, like even Brian Eno, uh, Peter Gabriel. So these artists I've listened to growing up, Genesis and all that, Sting, of course. But the thing about them is that they do take their time, even if it's just for a single, you know? They want to make sure the
right.
quality, the sound, the lyrics, everything is in place, not just something quick just to put out there because their fans are saying, "Hey, you haven't put something out." But when you listen to it, you hear it and you're like, "Damn, that's a good song," because they took their time. They weren't just rushing it.
Yeah,
So I'm glad that you have
yes,
that mentality to be like, "Hey, I want to make sure it's done well." The lyrics, the musicians, everything that's in place of it, that it
yes.
comes out really good. So that's important.
That's correct. Yes, and I don't know if it's okay to speak on this, but like for the EDM sector, um, I have a person in my life who's now my boyfriend.
Oh, nice.
I
Cool.
hope he's okay with me telling everybody that. But he is also very experienced in the production world. And so
Oh,
he's
okay, cool.
become a big mentor for me and manager as far as marketing what I do.
Very
and
good.
he actually helped me create Jezzika Sax.
Oh, really?
Um,
Okay.
yes, he influenced that for me, and we're also working on a project called Arc Overture. So we're going to incorporate real live musicians into the EDM world and
Wow.
try to evolve that, because usually EDM is just the same, beats, the
Right.
drop
Right.
all the time, but you can't ever discredit a live musician or a live instrument.
Right.
So that's where that project is coming from with the DJ. So there's
Nice.
going to be lots more of that with that. And hopefully we'll bring in some other instrumentalists and just kind of create with that.
That's cool. Yeah. And that's awesome that you have a boyfriend that is encouraging you through this, that's supporting you and helping you
Yes.
along this journey. So you both are doing this together. So that's awesome. That's very important to have this,
Thank
your
you.
significant other there for you through this journey. So that's awesome.
Yes, it's a tough industry. So
I
having
bet.
support and guidance is like heaven sent. It really is.
Definitely big. Yeah, a lot of it's big competition out there. A lot of people are trying to get their name out, their music, but it's not impossible. I mean, as long as you already have a lot going on for you, so you're really good. You have a good road ahead, and I think you're gonna do really well. So, I mean, you're already doing well. So,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. Well, thank you, Jessica, for coming on Rhythm and Roads podcast. And if they want to find, you said it was jessicasax.com, right? For your
Yes,
apparel.
JezzikaSax.com, and also on Instagram, I go by Sax with Class.
Okay.
And on Facebook, I'm under Jezzika Sax. Yeah.
Awesome. And we look forward to your premiere July 11th for the Secret, the music video re-release. So that's going to be
Yes, thank you. That
yeah.
will be on YouTube. So
I'll be
yes, if
YouTube.
you follow my website, you'll see the link to the YouTube channel.
Okay. Cool, cool. Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it. So thank you again, Jess, for sharing your story. Your testimony was very inspiring, and thank you for sharing the benefits of health. It's very important to, have that. A lot of people sometimes have a hard time even knowing what to do. So thank you for
Right.
giving some guidance on that and what's important. So
Of course.
appreciate that. And
You're
remember,
so welcome.
yeah, music and health is always the key there
It
to
is.
good life.
It
So
is. True happiness.
that's all right. Well, thank you
Thanks
guys
for
for
having me,
watching.
Josh.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.